Good morning again to my Liberians. I talk a lot about Liberians because I know a lot about the country, and that's the reason why I had to write a book concerning the Liberian Civil War and the crisis, how the crisis started, all of the division in Liberia. Everything is mentioned in that book. When you come to the historic city of Liberia, I mentioned how Liberia was founded, and the pioneers that came to found the country, how the issue of segregation started, and the line of demarcation set between the pioneers and the indigenous people based on social differences. That's what I said, social differences. In the first place, the people came from America with the American culture, several different people, different technology, different way of life. Everything was different. And then even though they came, they were being affected by the what they call the mentality of the enslavers, and they came with that same mentality. So it was easy for our traditional people to feel that era of segregation, and which brought the long-term issue of disunity in our country. That's where it started. Where it started from, because whenever you suppress a group of people from decades to decades, they build up social issues in their mind, and a social issue of discrimination, segregation. Even though if you go into the nitty-gritty of how Liberia was founded, it was not anything intentional. It was like the pioneers came home from out of slave trade, and they came and met up with this resistance because the indigenous did not know them. They could not integrate with them easily. Their languages, the way of speaking was different. And our people are just used to that local tradition. The people brought the civilization along with them. So it had to take our traditional population to get adjusted to that way of life. So it brought this issue of them living by themselves in their various settlements, and our indigenous people are kind of distance. And then up to the time they declared Liberia independence, they established a nation, fought to maintain Liberia as a sovereign nation. They did all of that. And today we had a country called Liberia. And because of that, it contributed towards many years of social and civil unrest. Civil unrest where politicians decided to use the vulnerability of the country through of the kind of social structure, American Liberian versus indigenous Liberian. The politicians use it for politics instead of uniting the country. They never did that. They used the Liberian situation, to bring division in order to meet their political goals. And today, here we are, we got the kind of situation that we got. Many years ago, from the foundation of Liberia up to the 1980, and coming to the latter part of the Dole administration, we have educated people sitting in two houses. People who are lawyers and educated enough. Some they didn't have all that education, but they have academic orientation and civilization. And because during those days, most of the American Liberians, if you even grew up in a home, you will get educated. If even you don't go to school, they will give you that education to enable you to live in a house and serve as domestic servant. And some of them will send you to school, and some, if even you don't go to school, they will make you learn because you have to know your way around. Just how America looking at you come as immigrant. From Africa, you come, the African culture here is different because by the time you get from Africa here, your culture become what they call they have dominant culture. Then when you come here, the Western culture become dominant over that of your African culture. So which means you have to fit into the culture of the Western culture and put the African culture aside, even though we from Liberia, at least because of the foundation of Liberia from America, we got similar mixed culture as Liberian, where we got both indigenous and civilized and Western culture in Liberia. So all the years that make Liberia complicated. By the time we killed Toba, that was the end of genuine educational system in the country. So everybody began to struggle and scramble for education. Everybody began to scramble for education and scramble for relevance. So somebody will go to school and learn a little book, to learn some terminology, to come and sit in the toilet. Like everybody, I remember the University of Liberia. It was a kind of a copycat university when people wanted to be the H. Boydman family. People wanted to be the Dr. Tipote. People wanted to be the Amos Sawyer. These was the guys, the additional like guys who had the opportunity to get scholarship, early scholarship, and to go to school, and they were doctors. So all the students that wanted to be there then. Well, today, one of the guys that called Cllr J, the legendary political tree of Liberia called Cllr J. Cllr J converted himself into H. Boydman family. He made himself. He took the physical appearance of H. Boydman family, how family wore his glasses, how family spoke, the kind of English, the kind of lexicon that family used, all was inherited by Cllr J. And then this is how our country is. Worse of all, 1980 started the problem, and then 1990. By the time 1990 hit, it was the total death of Liberia. Total death. There's a war, 14 years war in a 90% illiterate country. Because the war, when the war took place up to the time the 20,000 troops came, Liberia was at 90%. After the first administration of Ellen Johnson, UN dropped it, UNMIL dropped it to 85%. Illiteracy rating, people who don't know how to read and write and understand. But yet, and still, they still said that the 15% can read and write, they still can't understand. So what do you think going on with the country? So I would like to circle back to the issue of Fonati Koffa in the two houses. In the first place, if you look at the contemporary Joseph Boakai Senate and representative, if you would take a survey of real sound education and legal minds within the two houses, I'm not sure if you can find 5 or 10 authentic, you hear what I'm saying? Authentic. I don't saying that somebody who went and just learn a little book and try to be like somebody and learn how to speak the English, they learn the lexicon and sitting there. But every area in life or academic studies, they got specialists. Law is an area of specialization law. So people who make law should know law, should be lawyers. You can go and go and take the Liberian Constitution and memorize it. It does not make you a lawyer. It just makes you to be connected, to be associated and familiar with the Liberian Constitution, what it says. But you got to have academic legal criterion in order to be able to read and understand the Liberian Constitution, and then you know law. So you know when you go sit there as lawmaker, to call you lawmaker is not a baby thing to get a title. You got to know what is law. You got to know the in-depth of law, how many years of practicing as a lawyer. Because the education system in the country has affected the University of Liberia, but they got few students who are very serious in University of Liberia. They got maybe less than 10% of the educational system of post-war Liberia. 10%, maybe 10% of the students that really coming from there, they are very smart, especially the children from Grand Gila, Nima County, and some of them which we know. They went there in the midst of the kind of professor that we have right now, and in the midst of the massive educational system, they managed, and even not for social media, Google, we were never going to have even 2% that we can count on. So everybody did not go for the 2 houses to help Liberia. I will say here today, they went because of money. Because of the money, the kind of money that they're going to get, they'll have their hands on the budget. They will be able to use the money anyhow. And if you think that line, tell me what's been going on. So that's where the problem coming from. It's all about money. And that one of the things I frown seriously on Ellen Johnson. We copied the Constitution of America. It does not mean that we're able to deal with everything in our Constitution. Not even 50% of what we copy from America in the Constitution we can practice it as a nation. No, because you need educated people. You can have a high rate of illiteracy as such, and then you want to utilize the Constitution of the United States of America. That's why everybody saw they turn the academic studies, turn everything to corruption and criminal activities. So that's what it is. So I come down to the issue of Fonati Koffa. From what I said it last time, when I'm making recommendations to the president to make sure that he keep A.B. Kromah at the DEA, to keep A.B. Kromah there, because he's the one that been with our country and is well trained from the wartime, been dealing with the drugs and criminals. To keep him there because he went to school and he fed and he approving. And everything about Liberia is in the street. Anything you want to know about Liberia, what you hear in the street, don't doubt it. Check behind it. That's why I said the name I heard in our country after 27 years when I went back. Gregory Koma, A.B. Kromah, and then we have Prince C. Johnson, over defense, and a couple of the people in that town, the real people that we heard about, and they were consistent. And like one of the senators, I don't want to call him name because from the time I criticize him, they don't come near me. Because Liberian people do not like people. Liberian people prefer people who deceive them. That's why they live in deceit. Because plenty of people cannot be friendly. Even people who are connected to them, to their family, they pretend that they don't know Asayoyo. Because Asayoyo will say the truth. That the truth I say, because the Bible said the truth shall set you free. So if our people will be free, except they get to know the truth. But as long as we keep hiding the truth from them in order to steal, me, I ain't got no hope to steal from nobody. In my whole life, my treat me never to take things one out for me. It led me to a man trying to invest $3 million in me. I went to Liberia. Everything went upside down. And I came back to Canada. Because I did not check the today, they stay interested in going back. And I told them the day I know that Liberia is okay for investment, you can go. Good boy, Italian guy. Now, yes, Joseph Boaga have gone to Italy, and Italy will be coming in. So I will tell them that, okay, the president went to Italy, and you guys from there, so you'll get a delegation to go to Liberia, meet with the president, see wherever you can invest in someone made a 10. I can do that because I love my country. But the issue of Fonati Koffa, I've been hearing good things about him. He's a sound guy. He's educated. He knows what he's doing. He at that position appropriately because he academically strong and firm for that position. That's why people will want to go against irrelevant representative will want to go against him because they cannot bear his academic standard. So that's why they're trying to bring confusion in the country. The 2029 quest that was starting now. They're trying to cripple Omen Boakai administration for 2029. But I want to promise you 2029 birds. 2029 birds that in our country that are flying all over. In the night, when people are sleeping, you're flying all over the place. I want to promise you people, you cannot push the Liberian people all the time. We look like we're stupid, but you can't push them. When you push your high, you get to know that we're not stupid. If all of you people who in line for 2029, you better define yourself. Stand in front of the mirror and look at the money that you own, the houses that you own, how you build it, how you build those houses. The money that the millions of dollars you got, think about what salary you got to get those money and those houses that you got. Like first place. Stand in front of the mirror and ask yourself. And more 99.9% of the time, if you decide to stand in front of the mirror and to define yourself while looking at yourself, if you got conscience, at the end, you will lie down on your bed for you'll sleep until the next day before you get up, because you'll find out that you're nothing but garbage and bag of rags. That's how you'll find yourself. Because when you think about how you acquire the money, what you had to do, someone then carry on ritualistically to be able to sit in those places for devil to represent that voice, so they can have relevance. They're using spiritual power. All the things, they come in the morning, they chant in the morning and rub themselves with all kind of stuff to have that power. And by the time that power is dead, when prayer exists around them, you start to pray. When God begin overtake that terrain where they're sitting, then you see them falling apart, because Jesus and Satan cannot live in the same place. In the two houses, God and Satan cannot live there. That's the reason why they will not carry any strong spiritual power into the two houses, because they got 90% demons and 10% are people who may not be associated with demons. So I want to tell Fonati Koffa, use your legal knowledge, fight. You got the right to be senators, or to be a speaker. Everybody know you. I not heard anything bad about you. You're academically strong. You came from CDC and came to, when you got in the House as a speaker, you put Liberia first. Fonati Koffa, from what I've been following. I don't know you, don't know me. Maybe in a year, or in a year, run my mouth. But I don't know you, but what I heard from Liberian people and what I've been hearing, I don't hear anything bad. I heard like this is a sound, educated man who know what he's doing, and went to the House of Representatives as speaker to represent Liberia, not a political party. You can affiliate with party, but Liberia come first before any party affiliation. So if you show you're doing the right thing, fight. And the good people will always win. In Liberia, we are allowing the bad people to win all the time. That's why our country can be straightened up, because the bad people always win. And then what they do? They steal your own money and use it to make them to win. So the moment you get artificial victory, it will never last for a long time. Sooner or later, you find it crushing down, crumbling, like a mighty mountain. The earthquake I hit, it come crumbling, and by the time you see all of the lava, all of the rocks scattered all over the place. That's what Liberia looking at. Now we're looking at a volcanic mountain that has exploded. And all the debris from that explosion have overflowed the explosion and scattered all over the place. That's how broken Liberians are. Young children, you gave them a gun. They knew how to just kill people and take people's property by force. So you gave them opportunity to sit down in the two houses. They're taking our money by force. That's what they're doing on the rebel field, on the battlefront. That's what happened in real life society. So it meant that Fonati Koffa went there to be earnest and do the Liberian people work. He will have the kind of opposition that you will see in the street. So I come again to keep informing. My sister Belinda Harris told me I should keep teaching you people. I should keep giving you information. I want you to learn, because our country educational system is poor. So we who benefited from good school, I came from high school, I was already ready for university. When the refugee came, I could not stop telling my friends and things, because I was feeling bad for people who were calling me, referring to me as university student, as comrade, and I know I didn't go to University of Liberia. But then the people forced me to finally accept it, because I could not convince anybody on the refugee camp that I didn't go to University of Liberia. But I went to just a simple high school. And what I learned from that and who I've been fighting for people, vulnerable people all my life. And when I decided to open my online ministry, I said I will preach God and social services. Because all connected. That's what Jesus did when he came. When he came, he met up with resistance from his own people, from the Pharisees. Just for one simple reason. The simple reason that the Pharisees went against Jesus because Jesus brought different kind of message that they were preaching to the people. Different message. They were preaching themselves. They were preaching their power. They were preaching the clothing that they're wearing. They were preaching the hat that they wear. That way you see today, the bishop that you see with the hat long like that, it comes from way down from the Pharisees. Because you had to dress to put yourself spiritually all the rest of the people through your dressing. It show up in your dressing. It show how you talk. It show how you walk. Everything. That's where it came from. When Jesus came, he began to preach love. Be your brother's keeper. Care for your neighbor. Pray for them. Help the children in the street. Help the poor. Care for the poor. Yes. That's what Jesus came for. He preached a different message. Finally, Fonati Koffa went to the House as speaker for CDC to speak a different language. The real language that is recorded in the book. What a speaker of the House of Representatives should represent. The nation rather than the individual. But the group that he came from do not understand their own role in their own country, in their life of their own self, their children. The group that Fonati came from, they do not understand what's going on with their own lives. So they will never understand why Fonati Koffa went to the House to do Liberian people job. Because he was elected to do that job for the Liberian people, and he did it professionally. Versus people who do not understand between illiteracy and traditional and civilization and high academic performance. They don't understand that. They went in our house for money business. That's why I frown on. I have been supporter of Ellen Johnson. I saw her fighting. I saw her when she challenged Doe administration. Barehanded. One little woman challenged Samuel Doe administration. Until God took her out of the country. But she was old, very old when she became president, so she could not carry on the job. She got overwhelmed. Because all of the people she trusted, they disappointed her. She brought in academia to work. But Liberian situation is in a way that you cannot mix good people with Liberian easily. It's not possible. Because when you got 90% of people who don't understand good, and you bring 10% people who understand good, how will the 10% be relevant or perform? They can't perform. They got good people in the two houses. There are people who helped fight the election. They were vocal, talking. By the time they got there, they oriented them. Because the first thing they will warn you, they will send letter. You will see letter on your table. That your thing where you come here to can't do here. That we are doing that thing. You not come to can't change you. That's what I know. That's why God led me to grow up in a most common way to connect myself to the country so I can know what happened to the country so that this day will come. 5 years ago, I started doing this. The day will come so I can use my voice on social media to help my people. Those that go to my video to listen to, you'll never listen to any video from me and you'll not learn from it. Because every day, even I bring an old topic, I will add new one to it for people to learn, to realize what's going on around us. Because if you don't know your situation, you marry as a woman, you don't love your husband, how peaceful that house going to be? How healthy the children going to be? Vice versa, you marry a woman as a man, you don't love a woman. You got 10 outside versus one woman in your house. How will that work? If you got children by her, the children will not be healthy because you had transferred the love from them, from the children and the woman to 10 different persons outside the home. And in other, whatever pleasure that evoked their mind to leave your house and go outside there, you will have to share with them. So that's what brings some of the stealing in our government. Because those people had to steal to pay for their habits. If you got 5 girlfriends, like I last time told Liberia, who hold the certificate of having the most beautiful women in the world. Like I said in one of them broadcasts, I read it. I went articles to 1990, a French man showed me a book that this man, the tourist, wrote about Liberian women. We are naturally beautiful. God gave her everything, natural resources. He gave her human resources, but the human resources got affected because of the political structure. When the settler came, they met with resistance because the settler did not know them. They're looking different because the settler all the years, that great-grandfather from generation ago was telling them so many years ago, some white people came to your people and carried them to America. That thing was going to from chief because of the chiefs and things what they used during the slave trade. So as generation passed to generation, these children were growing on, hearing the story from their grandpa. Around the fire hut, they're sitting there in the evening, they're telling them how the war took place, how to carry the forefathers, so they went from generation to generation. So by the time the Congo people came to Liberia, the American Liberian came to Liberia, that generation was in and out, oh, these are the people our grandpa were talking about. They one came and saw our people, now they are come back. So that was the mentality. You saw us, then you come back to us. That's why the conflict started. And they too, when they came, their culture have changed to the Western style of living, everything. They are subjected to slave trade. Everything was, but then they are psychologically disturbed from the slave trade, but they managed to return home. So when they came, when the people said, oh, this is the people who heard about them. So that's where the problem started from. But America, they couldn't find a country to go back to America because they never had, because that's the one then who agreed to come back home to Africa, to their father's land. And then when they came, they began to be blamed for many decades of generation that caused the problem and came back. And when they came back, so that's why it was not easy. So if you read my book, you'll see what I try to explain in there. The level of illiteracy rate that was among our people when they came and saw the fire, they saw them, the different people. They are different from us. We cannot integrate with them. So it came a time the Congo people when they came, they wanted to integrate because they needed people. You form a government, people got a right to work and raise fund and money for the government to run. So how would they come? And there were just few. They were just 10 to 90% illiterate, additional people to 10%. What the 10%? You can't do it. So they had to integrate them. But it was difficult. You are different. So it's okay. Say your thing was different. You will buy the land from you and you go to it. So that had the American Liberians started to buy the land from, they moved from private island and started going upland. And then they moved on to the hill because there was a small group. So they went on the hill so that they can be able to set barricade to be able to encounter the attack on the indigenous, because the war started from the beginning of the foundation of Liberia. So that how come the issue of Matula Newport came out? Because if Matula Newport have not come to take that fire from her pipe to shoot that cannon, they were not going to be on Liberia. But because she fired it, and then she was able to save the pioneers because they were all on their farm. When this indigenous came to attack, when the Matula Newport was there, she was sitting old lady sitting there smoking her pipe. And then she saw this group of people come with spears and all kind of things. And she went to the cannon and took the fire from her pipe and lit the cannon and fired it. That's how come she was able to preserve the American Liberians. Today we got a nation. They were able to preserve the nation. They found our country. So if we don't appreciate them for anything, let's appreciate them for giving us a nation. And that our nation has been gracious to the rest of the world for so many decades. Until war and coup d'etat were introduced in 1980. It started with E.J. Raw. E.J. Raw, the first president that was overthrown in a bloody coup. They beat him to death. And then after the second one was Cllr. Then the third one, Samuel Doe. And that's it. And from there, the war came. You see the succession of the problem that came? So, that's the reason why I decided to write that book, so that history can be where it stopped and where I pick up from the 14 years war, what I witnessed and wrote about it. There will be a part 2 to that book in the future, where other issues will be discussed, so that tomorrow our grandchildren that will have in exile, they will go home, they'll see that book, they'll read about Liberia. And I will make sure that see how that book can get to the educational system, so that people can read and know what happened to Liberia. That's what I'm not thinking about getting rich. I was thinking about putting my passion out there through writing. That's what I did, put my passion. But I know our people, because of the status, our social status, it will be like this. But there will be people who will benefit. So I come by this morning, Fonati Koffa. I'm going to take my time to listen to one-on-one on CEO today, hear what he had to say. But we have to avoid that. We got to make sure that Fonati Koffa remain. It would allow Fonati Koffa for them to succeed. I told you, CDC people got educated people. They educate other people in the background, pushing the young generation to go destroy themselves. So they know what they're doing. They knew that Fonati Koffa is a strong guy, so they're attempting to get him from there to bring confusion, to confuse Boakai administration, because they are in 2029. But they must go to heaven and ask God, which are the God that will agree for them to take over that country 2029. They must go and ask God and ask all the demons, because the demons will not be able to help them. Because if you did well for our country, for the 6 years we gave you, then you should think. But they don't even know that they did wrong to the country. That's why they're fighting for 2029. So what is it that God need to come down to counter us? So I start by here this morning to speak about the Fonati. I bring in the history of Liberia, because those children go there, they read our history, but they'll not get anything because our mind already spoiled. So when you are sneaking in this way, then at least people will understand what are going wrong with our country. Okay, thank you for showing up this morning. I don't know who are on page. Let me see who's here. Oh, Mother Small. Okay. Morning, Mother Small, Christopher. Oh, Crystal, happy belated birthday. The day I come to Liberia, I will have my own birthday for you, okay? Okay, Christopher Handful. Amen. BUMC, young adult, the greatest young adult ever in the Republic of Liberia. From BUMC, Buduburon, Mr. Handful. My man, I went to Liberia, you refuse to buy my car. I bring in some more, you will buy it. I will force you to buy it. So let me tell you now, that thing day you say you're going to buy my car, you didn't buy it. You, Mr. Handful, I'm coming for you. That reason why I decided to cut away from you, but I'm just joking. You know, a lady that can leave his members just on the side. Oh, Emma Johnson. Oh, good morning. Yeah, so this is your man, Mr. Yoya. The man, the history tree, living history of our country and our war. And your wife, those of you in America, buy that book. You will enjoy reading. When I regret you reading it, the guy's an emotional story there. You get connected to it, and then read about our country, and then read about Buduburon Camp, read about the history, how I try to give a synopsis of what the whole conflict coming from between America, Liberia, and that got our country the way it is today. That we seem to be like everybody against each other. It's not that. It's because of a system that developed us, that didn't unite us. The man who came to unite the country, he died in the process. That's William Torber. He died. And since then, nobody ever. Samuel Doe tried, but he didn't stay long. You know, for me, I don't just criticize people. I can criticize you, but I look at the good side, because God is looking for the good side of us. I don't care how many months we run. When you want to criticize somebody, deal with yourself first. Correct yourself first. And that's what I did. I always, anything that I don't do good, I will say it. And also that God can bless me, so that other people can be blessed. You know? Even though the trailer loads of trouble that people can say about us here, if you know it, you think, why are you leaving? But I don't have time for that. Because you will say the truth and expose evil, nobody will like you. You gotta sit on disciples and go against people who's preaching the gospel, right? So, but nothing will stop me. I love my country, and the young generation, people using them because they don't know a lot. And I will keep informing. The day I get the opportunity to get in front of the crowd to speak to them, I asked God, I said, God gave me funding. I want to go to Liberia with the angel that you assigned to me to see what happened during the war when I faced rebels with my bare hands and dealt with them like I was dealing with babies and they didn't touch me. Get those angels ready because I want to go to Liberia. What I'm doing online, so I can go and put the young children together and speak to them and tell them what's going wrong, what the people doing to them. I went to the ghetto, I did it. If you see my ghetto video, I just few minutes I spoke to them. And all of them wanted to know who this guy is. I went Center Street. Because when I heard about Zogo, I want to know who they call Zogo. So when I said, but we all call Zogo here. They have about 15 of them sitting in my car. They came with tools, they can't wire my car inside. So I opened my car, all of them kids start working on the car. I said, but who they call Zogo? Papa, that's us. I said, you're Liberian, like who they call Zogo? I said, y'all know that the people who call it Zogo, they are the real Zogo. They started laughing. Oh, Papa. So I started lecturing. I said, you'll get one side. You know, I said, the only time you can work on people's car when you got to have a shop, they carry a car there, and they pay you work on it. But I just park my car open, then you can all of y'all come with tools in the car. So what y'all can do with my car? I said, when somebody go in the car that we are going for y'all. But when I got the Holy Spirit spoke to me, I got weak, said put it down, go talk to them. That I put the weaving down and went to go talk to them. When I got to talking to them, the children thought I was angels, I was speaking to them. And I took money from my car, bundle money, and divided and gave it. I said, who's the leader here? I gave it to them, 2 bundles. I said, you divide money yourself. You know, at least say you decide to come wear 15% wear on my one car in 5 minutes, even though you're facing, but I still paying your 1,000 liberty. It was laughing. You know, and it was silver for me to hear that our citizen living in the grave. They move the dead body for in the grave. They use a bone for drugs. And then they're living inside the grave, they're burning children in the grave and selling the children to adoption organization. You think that small thing that happened in our country? For people to be burning children in the grave and selling them, you are not having our citizens that they are so only heaven knows people who bought them, what they're doing with them, what they did with them. We got a lot to think about. I don't say something when I see. We got a lot of. We are in trouble. We are in deep, deep trouble. Just think about you who taking care of your children and got them, you know, in your house and looking after them. Think about the millions that don't have any parent that taking care of them. Every day when they get up, they only hear about criminals, people in government, how they stealing the country money. They only hear about criminals. So that criminal mind is developing in them. They get to know that it's a regular thing to steal. So today, tomorrow, when the children get in government, they're going to steal too because it will take them years of their life to get what these people stealing overnight. And that what making us say, it's people that if I don't talk the way I talk, some people think say, oh, if you say, because the pastor using, I said, what kind of word are you using? What they say Jesus didn't do? You tell me why I'm using that Jesus didn't do. You tell me. That's why sometimes I refer to, I said, go to Matthew chapter 23, read the whole 23, see Jesus leashing his anger on the Pharisees and wording that he used. Me, my own, at the morning, the word I use, Jesus, when he polished me, I don't polish my own. I call them idiots, I call them stupid, I call them all kind of people. Because when you say that you steal government money, when people hungry in the street, you are very extremely stupid. There's no good word for you. You're just stupid. That all. How can you go? You got best or rest in your pantry, in your house. Your children get high, and the children passing the street looking for grass to eat. They got to steal before they eat. Then you keep that. Who are you? You are an illiterate, stupid fool. That's what you are. God will never punish me for saying what I say. Will never punish me. Because you know the reason why I call them stupid fool. Because they are stupid fools. If you steal from vulnerable people, you are a fool because you got money. Your bank account got hundreds of thousands there. Then the later one for the children who had a crumb, you go take a crumb from them. Then what you think? Who are you? Got sense? Who are you? So thank you for showing up. Share this video. This is your man, Isaac Yoyo. I will never back off. I will never back off. I will stay on Liberia. God will give me the strength and give me the life. I will stay on Liberia until I will be alive and see Liberia being redeemed. Oben Boaga got 5 years, 6 years, and we got to pray for him to have strength and support him in order to be able to start the process, because rehabilitation even started 33 years ago. The war started in 1990. Check it. From 1990. It started up to now. Okay, now to joy we are time. Check the amount of year. And I reach a back now. How many years now? Send the war. And how the country, how the educational system, how the country looking at. The open fighting to be developed. Development. We should be proud. We should give him the support, because right now, anywhere in the world he goes, people will listen to him. So we got to fix the country itself, so that people will hear Boaka and come and see something. But do not hear Boaka, they come to the country. That's what they're fighting to do. That are under politics where they understand. They want to go there 2029, so they want to do everything, do that, go against it. But we got to pray for God to destroy them. Because God destroyed evil people for Israel to be where it is today. God had to destroy. He used Ezekiel, prophet Ezekiel. Said King Nehemiah was on board. Nehemiah ordained him. They gave Nehemiah so much province. Jeremiah. They gave Jeremiah so many province. God had to send him to the Koffa-House to go and learn practical social services and counseling. That's what God did. God sent Jeremiah to the Koffa-House to learn counseling, to do social, spiritual counseling, to go see how the potter is taking a diet. And you know what? You know what example God used? God used the same thing that he used to produce man. Because if you go to this creation story, it said he went, when he got ready to develop, to make man, he went and took clay from inside the water. The water where he had created, he took a clay and sat there and mold that clay and fix it and structured man into a clay. When he got to it, he blew breath into them. And there's so many accounts for the creation story that connect to the Bible. The book of Ezekiel connected to that creation story also. How you think he processed Ezekiel to be able to wake up the dry bone that were in the valley of dry bone in Ezekiel 35, 36? Huh? Because just how he created that clay and put it together, that's how he's saying Ezekiel, he came to Ezekiel in the dream and showing him how to wake up the dry bone. Then later on, Jeremiah, who he appointed to go talk to his people, to change their ways, to turn to Yahweh. Jeremiah was having problem. Sometimes you are catching the hanging down in the well for weeks is there. They did all kind of things, so he wanted to run away. God said no. So God said, he said, go up that hill. There's a man sitting in a house there, putting clay together. All I want you to go do, when you go, don't speak to the man, don't ask him any questions. Just sit down in the corner and look at to see what he's doing. And what God wanted for Jeremiah to see in that Koffa-House, to see how the God took come and died. God was telling him that, my man, this is how I created you. So go to the Koffa-House and see how I created you and how I want you to recreate those who are created and they are turning away from me. My people, whom I took from out of Egypt, in slavery, across the Red Sea, thing that the eye could not imagine happening, I did it happen. Still, but go there. So Jeremiah sounded, God just said, don't say anything, just sit down. So Jeremiah went and sat quietly and saw the man digging the clay, putting it together. When he got to where the clay, I want a guy in a mug in my car here. Okay, so let's example, if you don't clay muck that you drink your coffee in the morning, that's something there. That's what Jeremiah sat down. When the man got to facing that mud, and then what he did, what? Before God done with you, and he sent you, he'll put you through the fire. And if I'm telling you I have not gone through burning fire, I laugh Ghana man say, God had put me through that same fire. So he wanted for Jeremiah to see how the man going to work the clay. How he going to form it. After forming it, he will put it on a spin to spin it as he uses his hand to form that clay. And when he formed that jar or that veil for flour or maybe for water jug, then the last process would be to put it in the fire and burn it. And they got special grass that you use to burn those clay. And when you get to burning it, when that clay is processed, instead that you see a beautiful, smooth glass with a beautiful, looking so beautiful. Then God told him, even though you're having struggle, you want to run away from your people, but just what that clay, that potter did with the clay, and finished products, because God is interested in our finished products. You can be a sinner, hopelessness, doing all kind of things, prostitution, everything you're doing. When it comes a time that you realize that you want to turn to God, you got to leave all of those things. And when you finish polishing yourself, then when you're speaking, people want to listen to what you're saying. People, you become relevant in the eyes of people. That's what God did with Jeremiah. So Jeremiah learned that. And then he had an extra lesson. And Jeremiah realized the extent of which he had to take God, the word of God, to another new level. Even though he was speaking to intransigent people. When I say intransigent, people who behave like their brain not working. That intransigent people. Even though they know it's right, they do it wrong. Because that's what they want to do. It's what they know how to do. They become entrenched until they feel the pain. Then they will change. So God did that with Jeremiah. And at the end of the day, we'll see. So one day, if we can put out a better educational system, and those young smart kids, we make sure that we redevelop the law school, bring in people from outside. That had Tower brought professors in Louis Arthur Grant School of Law in University of Liberia, all of the colleges, university in Liberia, colleges at the time, and the high school. He brought people, educated people to train our people. He opened 2 teacher training institutions and brought in doctorate to run the teacher training to provide well-trained teachers to be able to develop a country with 90% illiteracy rating. Because Toba died at 90% illiteracy rate. Though Samuel Dokin, he left it at 90% illiteracy rating. 1990, whoever took it with the time when on-mail came, according to them, when they after working that first survey they did, they say it dropped to 85%. Only for 90%, only on-mail, then only took off 5%. It became 85%, but they say 15% can read. They know what they read. So, is that different from what we see in the school system? No, the people are professional. They did a demographic, and that's what they came up with. So, in order to make sure that we go back to 90 and reach it to 95, that's a lot of work we had to do. It needed to start with rehabilitation of the children and developing a sound education, not full money school, not people who building mud houses, study houses, and putting school there and charging US dollar. That's not the kind of school that we need to rehabilitate the country. We don't need that kind of school. You don't blame them because people have to live. People need to buy food for their children. I blame them because they don't have the mental capacity to know that they're destroying themselves by putting those makeshift school together, or they want something to eat. They want to rise. They see a friend in rank card, they want rank card to so they open school and charge US. The old people screening in the market to sell a market. They gotta go change their local labor to US dollar. You know how much US dollar you had to Liberian dollar you had to spend to get US dollar to go pay school fees? So why human people are inhuman? 90% have become inhumane, evil. That's where we are. Thank you. Let us keep praying for our country. Your use of influence, let's make sure that they should not remove Fonati, because it will become a precedent That one will bring that country down. Because anybody will rush court on things that they can get and say they remove somebody from the two houses. Anybody who wear rush coat and they kind of have me, I got a Boaga gear. I call it Boaga gear. I wear something and I rojo that new one, but don't want us to do a flag in that bread. I want to wear that go sit and then they start making the one made law for our country. What do you wear to a flag called the one made law for what kind of country? For who country? You understand what I'm talking about? You know what I'm saying? So we have to fight. Oh, we have to fight. Oh, God. You see, I'm getting old. I got to change from shades because the sun in my face, right? And then to see who here. Oh, the evangelist. Oh, my God. My daughter is here. That my best your daughter there. Nobody thinks that. Nobody thinks that he alone daughter. Me, she not become my daughter too, no. I know what I owe enough for to be my daughter. Yeah, of course. So, Berliner, yeah, man. Yeah, self-centered. He mean and self-centered. That's the word, baby. Thank you for helping, Emma Johnson. Why should you people? Yeah, good morning, big brother. Yeah, my sister, God bless you, man. You know what? Every second, God multiplying your voice to get on the road. And don't stop. I used to admire your grandfather. When I started going to church, was the first preacher that I came across, old man Jimmy Boyce. Then out of that family came Patrick Boyce, the power preacher. And I used to love his preaching. And the boy's brother, your brother, Munawud in McIntosh Grove United Methodist Church, man, when they raised song, oh my God. Yeah, oh, come to the church when I would. Oh, come to the church in the vale. No choice is to my child as a little brown church on the hill. When that song come on during YMF meeting, man, you hear the boys' brother, the Parkers, M. Dave, Kona, all these people. Then Mother Olive Totman. And you hear that voice when they pick up that song, man, when they sing it, man, the spirit will just sink in our soul. Yeah, man. Then the prayer song, How Great Thou Art. Yeah, when that song come on, then you see the interlude. I used to enjoy Patrick Boy interlude. When that song come on, then he introducing the sermon, McIntosh. There where I got my foundation of worshiping God and listening to great preachers. Started for Jimmy Boss, for Rosemary Smith, or the late Jim E's boys, Jim E. Bass. He once upon a time was pastor for the church. Then Mary Smith came in. They were powerful preacher ladies then. And from there, they said, P-Nick, man. You couldn't make it, man. P-Nick, oh my God. God endowed that boy, that man, with the word. Yeah, so it's not surprising all these years for you, Berlinda, to be on the road. Yeah. Yep. Okay. That's good to know, yes. It's a family, yeah. Yeah, those people are preaching family, man. Yeah, know your father. When those guys open that Muffin McIntosh, man, you think that God coming down. Yeah. My brother M. Dave, that was kids, man. Oh, and Olive, oh my God, those people could sing. Oh my God, Victoria Carter. Jesus Christ. Victoria Carter, man, when she opened her mouth to sing, man, you think that an angel had appeared in the church. All these things happen. How can I? And when my church here, that my church here driving in here, so I've been in the church for where? 18 years now, 19 years. When I came, they embraced me from the hotel. And they sent me to school. They did everything. That they are driving. I just come from men devotion this morning. We had men devotion that came was several years ago. I said, yeah, let me just drive around so you can see. This is my church. This is my church. This is my church. This is my church. Oh God. Oh God, what happened to my video? Get it from there. Yeah. This is my church. I'm trying to turn the camera around. Okay, this is the church. I came 19 years ago. Yeah, it's about 140 years old now. This church, yeah. Yeah, so about 140 years old now. So I've been around this church since I came. They sent me to school. They did everything for me. My children, everybody helping my daughter in school. My last baby in college, 2 hours drive away from us. That's not an easy thing for your last born to be that away every day. She got to send text to mommy and daddy. My daddy, I got to be sending money for McDonald's all the way 2 hours, and because she used to it. She grew up in the back of my car seat, so it's not an easy thing. And so I said, well, how are you managing with all her? I said, I'm managing because God is in control. God's taking care of her. So I'm managing it, you know. She got to grow up. She got to learn. And I went to school as an old man, so she's young. I want her to learn all the book, creating all my grandchildren. So Berlina, thank you for showing all this morning. I would like to end this video. And that my environment I'm walking in, so turning right back around to me. Oh. Oh, come to the church in the world. Oh, come to the church in the vale. No choice to the church in the valley, in the wildwood. Oh, come to the church in the vale. No choice so dear to my child as a little brown church on the hill. Amen. UMYF, United Methodist Youth. They try to tell our church to different things by law. We will not allow it to happen. We will serve God. So, Brenda, have a blessed day. Keep blessed on the road. And may you preach in your DNA. So, it's not surprising. And you know, you got your grandfather voice. I am father. Then you got the old man voice. You know, I like to hear it because it got the American tune. So, you know, you have for us again. Yeah, but just like your grandfather, that kind of voice he had. Have a blessed day. May we share the video and God bless.